Good morning, Commissioners. I'm going to call the January 3rd, 2017 Board meeting to order. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioners, the first item that you need to do is you need to appoint a chair. So is there a nomination?
I'll make a motion to have Mike Burrell as chair of Charlie Burrell.
Charlie had a brother, Mike, but he's no longer with us, so it'd be tough for him to be the chair.
There's a nomination for Charlie Burrell. Is there a second?
I will second that.
All right. Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Last call. No other nominations. All in favor of Charlie Burrell being the chair for 2017, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Charlie, you are the chair. I'm going to turn the meeting over to you.
Okay.
All right. Well, Happy New Year, everyone. Next thing in order is we need a vice chair. Is there a motion for a vice chair?
Mr. Chair,
And I believe Mark would be.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
I'd like to nominate Commissioner Mark Delyden for Vice Chair.
Motion made for Mark Delyden. Is there a second?
Second,
Motion made in seconds. Any other nominations?
Mr. Chair, I move to close nominations for vice chair and cast unanimous ballot for Commissioner Delyden to be vice chair.
Motion made to cast unanimous ballot and close nominations. Is there a second to
Second.
that?
Second.
Second, okay. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Marcus. You lost. It's supposed to be a unanimous. Okay. He was joking, I think. Okay, and then we need a motion for the transfer back of any unused funds to the county attorney contingency fund.
So moved, Mr.
Sheriff
Chair.
Contingency fund. Motion by Potter,
Second.
seconded by
Vetch.
Vetch. Okay, any other discussion? Okay, all in favor of motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And then we are looking, you guys can just go right through and make this motion if you want.
I'll make a motion to recall all unused clerk hire and unused budgets for 2016.
I'll second that.
Motion by Delyden, second by Hewsome. Discussion, all in favor of motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I'll make a motion to vote to set the county board's regular sessions for every Tuesday for 2017. The meetings shall be called to order at 9 a.m.
I'll second that.
Second by Vetch, motion by Delyden. Discussion, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I'm not sure if your motion, a couple of motions, also the sheriff's contingency. Incidental.
Yes, it did.
Okay, I just heard attorneys, so.
Actually, I think I read through it and then Mark made.
I made a motion before he was finished.
Yeah, Potter did, yeah. But it was.
Yeah,
and
don't blame me on this one.
It would probably be good to,
It included the sheriff's contingency fund and the incidental fund to the general revenue fund, so. Okay, we're all clear on that? Okay. Okay, next one.
gonna go through each one kind of, or?
Okay.
Next would be the committee appointments, Mr. Chair.
Lee, I'm not sure what they want us to do right here.
Well, Mr. Chair, this is a section where we go over the committee appointments for 2017. We've done it multiple ways in the past, either as a block. However, we do have a new commissioner, as you know, this year. We certainly could take them item by item, going down. Go
So
ahead.
why don't we do that? We'll go down the appointments and then we'll come back and make a motion
Sounds
in
good.
its entirety at the end. Okay. So the budget committee of the whole, that would be all commissioners, coordinator, auditor, and treasurer. So that's right. I mean, nobody objects to that. The building committee, last year was Potter and Delyden, and I was the sub, and I think this year we were gonna make a change. Was that right, Mark?
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be you and
Mike?
Commissioner Potter.
Okay. And then who would be the sub on that?
Why don't we have Derek as sub on that one?
Okay. All right. Everyone, just if you object or you want, just interject whenever you feel like it. The owners committee, I think we had that down. That was Mike and I, and then Mark, you were the sub.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have anyone listed for the next one.
The next one, there's nothing to do.
About the Finance CIP Committee? Didn't we eliminate that one?
Commissioners, as you recall, we kind of combined, we used to have a finance and then a separate capital improvement
so we
committee
still
in the
would-
past. And as part of our strategic plan, we'd looked at combining these. So therefore, it is kind of a new committee combining a couple. So we listed as just two commissioners. We'll have to assign, I think last year, the CIP was Delyden and Sawatsky from memory, so.
Okay. Well, Mark, would you want to be on that yet?
Yeah, that's fine.
And Derek, is that something you
Yep.
wanted to serve on?
Yep.
Okay. And then the ditch committee, I don't think we need to name names on that, but it's just, there's two commissioners. Well, it depends on where the ditch is too, plus the commissioner from the district that the ditch in question is going to be, so, and along with the auditor treasurer, so.
Well, you can
Well,
put,
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, I mean, you and Commissioner Delyden were on the ditch committee, correct?
You know
And
what,
I was a sub, or I'm the third person if there's a joint ditch.
You know, yeah, because when, right, Lee, when we have joint ditches, like 14, 15 and stuff, we did have two commissioners that were
Correct.
assigned to that, so.
Yep.
So that would be me, Mark, and then Chris would be the, if we need the third one.
Third person.
Okay,
On 14, we do have 3 board members on that.
correct, okay.
Right.
So Chris would
I'm
be
the
the
third,
third.
I'm
then.
the third.
Okay. And ditches within our county, though, would be kind of whoever,
you mean which,
Our
in the
district,
district?
within our
within the
District.
district, yeah.
Correct.
So would be that commissioner would also be involved, so. Okay, we're okay with that. Labor management, loss control. It was Chris and I before. I think I'd be able to do
Yeah.
that yet.
That would be fine.
We're okay with that. Noxious weed appeal committee. Mark and I were on that. I don't think we ever met, did we?
No.
But we might someday, so, okay. And then, so we'll just leave that if that's okay. The nuclear, it was Sawatsky Hewsum, and I think it would make sense to have Derek and Chris take over on that because it's in your district, Derek. Would you be okay with that?
Yep.
Okay. And also the emergency management director and the assistant deputy director would be on that committee as well.
Right.
Okay. Personnel, employee relations, 2 commissioners, and that also was Commissioner Sawatsky and you, but
Yep.
Mark, was that something you were gonna kind of help
Yeah,
out
since
on?
I've been dealing with the employee relationships, the union negotiations, I have to continue on that for now.
So Commissioner Houston and Commissioner Delyden, that would make
And
sense for them.
alternate.
And Derek, would you want, or
I would
Mike?
like to be an alternate if I could.
Okay, yep, okay, let's put Derek as the alternate. All right, and tax forfeiture committee, it was Commissioner Potter and I, the auditor treasurer. Any problem with that? I think I'd be willing to serve on that, Mike,
Good.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
okay? And, all right, technology committee, that was Commissioner Delyden and I, and Commissioner Hewsum was the alternate. And my communications with Derek is, he might be a little bit more of a tech person than me, and it might be well-served on that. Is that something you'd be willing to help out in, Derek?
It's on my top of my list I'd like, so Charlie.
Okay,
Your
all
list.
right. And Mark, I think we'd have 2 really good people, you know, on there then, so. And then Chris, you want to stay the alternate on that? Okay. And Transportation Committee of the Whole is all the commissioners, the highway engineer, and the coordinator, so nothing, no action there. And the Ways and Means, it was Commissioner Hewsum and Commissioner Swatsky, and I was the alternate. I know, Chris, you want to go back on it for sure, and Mike, you and I both talked about it. I'd be willing to do it, but if you're really big on it.
It's up to you, Mr. Chair, and the rest of the board, how they feel. I don't think the Ways and Means meets all that often,
Not very frequently, no.
not very frequently,
Yeah.
and I'd be willing to
Sure, I
serve.
think it'd be best suited for you to take it, since I've took your the alternate spot up on the personnel, and then I took the technology in your place, but
Otherwise, I end up with very few committees the
Yeah,
way it is, so.
Commissioner Burrell, if you'd like to
Okay.
do that, I'd be fine with that.
Okay, it doesn't meet that often. Then, Mike, you want to be the alternate on that?
That'd be fine.
Okay. All right, so we would entertain a motion to accept those appointments.
You have more than that, don't you?
Are you
We
going
need
to
to
do
do all of
What's
these?
that?
the advisory too?
Was there, oh, you know what? Let's keep going. I missed a page here, sorry.
It's re-
Wow, I missed more than a page.
Just as a note, the advisory does have a separate
There's
motion later
49
too,
committees,
so.
Mr.
So,
Chair.
so we could make a motion on what we have right now?
County committees, correct.
Okay, it would be in order, Mike.
Mr. Chair, I'll
Okay.
make a motion to adopt the committee assignments as just placed.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion made and second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries. Now we're on to the advisory board appointments. The area transportation planning, Mike, you are on that? You'd be.
Yes,
willing to keep
Mr.
doing
Chair,
it?
I'd like to continue serving on that.
I don't have any objection, if anything. Bertram Chain of Lakes, again, this was Commissioner Sawatsky and Commissioner Delyden. I think it would make sense to have Derek, it's in your
Chair,
backyard.
I'd like to take that.
Okay, so and Mark, you'd be okay on it, yeah? Okay. So Vetch and Delyden, excuse me. And Emergency Medical Service, Central Minnesota. Chris, you were on that, and I was the backup. Is that okay yet?
I enjoy that committee.
Okay. And Central Minnesota Jobs and Training Joint Powers Board, Chris?
Yes, unless,
Okay, yeah?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's another good committee.
Okay. Central Minnesota Emergency Services Board, I've been on that. I think I make pretty much all the meetings, and you're the backup. Is that okay, everyone? Okay. It meets, I think, once every other month. It's not a big meeting. And Clearwater River Watershed, Chris, you were on that?
Yeah, I am only able to make that meeting quarterly because they changed it to the third Wednesday. So if Derek, if you're interested, it's in your district too, so,
I'll fill in that spot
okay,
then. Yeah.
that'd be great. And
Okay. All right, thank you for that, Chris. County Extension Service, Commissioner Potter and I have been doing that, and I think that's been going well. Anyone, okay. We'll leave them the way it was. The Crow River Organization of Water, that meets pretty much the same time as the One Watershed, One Plan, which we really don't have it's not totally formed yet, so I think that's not listed yet, but I've been doing that, both of them, so if that's okay. And then Mike, you're the backup on it?
Fine.
You okay?
I'm okay with that, Mr. Chair.
And delegates to the AMC would be all commissioners, the auditor, treasurer, and the coordinator, and the highway engineer. There's nothing, no action there.
And just a note, Mr.
Be
Chair,
later.
later in the meeting, we'll set the individual policy committee appointments for AMC
Okay,
as a later item.
okay. The East Central Joint Powers Board, that was Commissioner Sawatsky and the Court Services Director. I have no clue.
well, Mr. Chair, I believe that's the correctional facility, isn't it?
It's the
In-
Lionel Lakes.
The Lionel
Yeah,
Lakes.
yeah. Because Pat kind of gave me the
Is
details.
that something you'd have,
Yep.
you'd have an interest in, Derek?
That's what I was planning out after talking to Pat.
Anything
Okay.
to go to Lionel Lakes?
Yeah.
Okay, and there's no backup on that, is there, Lee, or?
No, there hasn't been traditionally.
Is that pretty much an ad hoc, as needed, or,
That's what it's been,
Okay.
historically.
so it's not a monthly meeting?
Okay. Economic Development Partnership Board, Mike, you want to keep on that?
That'd be fine, Mr. Chair.
Okay. And Great River Regional Library, that's going okay too, Mike?
Well, it appears, Mr. Chair, that Commissioner Vetch has a lot of assignments already, so I'll stick with that, even though it kind of sometimes conflicts with transportation, but I'll stick on it because you can't load them up the first year and drown the poor soul.
Could you check, Mike, and see if there's any way they could have a substitute for that?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I did delve into that a little bit, and the big counties don't have, in the joint powers agreement, don't have an alternate clause, but the smaller counties do, for some reason. I don't know why, but it's,
Well, maybe it's something to worth checking into, because if you can't make it sometime, it would be nice to have us represented anyway.
I would think that we could send somebody in Commissioner Potter's place. I don't know why that would be an issue.
just have a picture of me on a stick and just
Yeah.
hide behind it.
How about if we put somebody down as a substitute, even though we don't really have one? Would that make sense, Lee?
We could,
In case they did change their bylaws a little bit?
sure, and I could follow up with them too.
Is that something, Derek? would you want to-
Yeah, sure, that's a library, no problem.
Okay,
I'll put down alternate.
even though there's technically not, it's not in
Commissioner
there.
Potter, I do appreciate you being, caring about my time.
Well, Commissioner Vetch, with all due respect, I mean, you've taken on a pretty heavy load for your first year in. I want to make sure you don't get overwhelmed on this. Because it is a lot more, it's not your grandfather's county board anymore. It's a whole different world now.
Okay, the Highway 20, sorry, go ahead.
For your information, the reason why the small counties have an alternate, they don't have any citizen reps on that board. The larger counties have citizen reps, and that's why they don't have an alternate commissioner.
Chair?
So, yes.
Thank you, Sonny, for that clarification, because I knew there was a reason why, and I just couldn't recall it right off the top.
And Mr. Chair, I think we've got, two fine representatives from our county that are citizen reps, so if neither commissioner could make it, then I'm sure that would be,
Good enough.
they'd still be well represented in Wright
Okay.
County.
Thank you, Sonny. Okay, the Highway 25 Corridor Coalition, Mike, are you okay on that yet?
Yes, I am, Mr. Chair. I've talked with Commissioner Vetch on this, and he has talked to all the players and that, and it'd be fine, because I know with the Commissioner Swatsky, he had concern that the member from the Monticello area be in tune of what's going on there, so I will be, whatever information I get, I will be sharing with Commissioner Vetch, so he's up to date on everything.
Okay, and then Derek, it would make sense to have you as
Alternate.
the alternate on that. Okay. And Highway 55 Coalition, Mike, that's you, and then Chris is the sub, that kind of
Well,
makes sense.
no, we're both on it.
Oh, you're both on it,
No
okay.
subs.
Okay, then I said that kind of makes sense, so you're both in that area. Historical Society,
Mr. Chair, I'll take that one for, because I don't think they meet that all often, and again, in all due respect to Commissioner Vetch's time, one of them, plus it probably wouldn't hurt me to learn a little bit more about my family history in this county. And they're very, and I know Commissioner Swatsky really enjoyed that committee, and I gotta know what he felt like when he was there.
See, I thought Commissioner Burrell should probably take that one, since he's lived most of the history.
I've written it. I'm okay with it, Derek?
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I appreciate, Commissioner Potter's, looking at my schedule,
And-
filling up really quick here.
And just so everyone knows too, if things change during the year,
Yeah, we got
and
one.
there's some conflict, something comes up where you can't make it, just bring it back to the board and we'll discuss it again too, so. Okay, the I-95 Coalition, Mike, you've been pretty
94,
active on that. What's that?
94,
I-94, what did I say now?
95,
95, well, it's
yeah,
a little bit further north, huh?
yeah.
Okay. So Mike's on that. Law Library, Chris, you okay on that yet?
Yep.
And Legislative Matters is all commissioners. Continuing, rightly?
Continue.
The META Awareness Coalition, Chris,
Yes.
okay on that?
Yep.
And Monticello Joint Planning Board, that I imagine has to be Derek.
Yeah,
It
that's-
makes sense,
yeah, the
right?
MO, yeah.
Okay. One watershed, oh, we do have it on here. Okay. That one meets at the same time as the Crow, so it makes sense that I stay on that. Parks Advisory Board, Mark, you're okay on that yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Planning Commission, I would like to serve on that yet, if there's no objection. Public Works Labor Management,
Yes.
Commissioner Hewsome, and Mark, were you going to be a backup on that? I know Pat was.
I can, or Commissioner Batch can also, it's up to him.
Pat was just on a lot of stuff, but a lot of them didn't meet that often either.
Right, this
so-
is a quarterly meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, and
You okay, Derek?
That's fine.
Okay. All right, and
Commissioner Houston makes sure she makes that one all the time.
Region 7W Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy Committee. Mike, you were on that? And
Yes, Mr. Chair, this was something that's been rebooted and kickstarted here. We're getting together a plan on this. I've made all the meetings. Commissioner Swatsky was kind enough to guide me on what they did in the history of that, prior to that. And we also are fortunate that Dwayne Nordhagen from our Economic Development Partnership also attends those meetings to help and an extra set of ears to listen to what's going on.
Okay.
As far as a alternate, Commissioner Hewsome would be the good alternate for that, although that wouldn't be too much for her because that would go with your Central Minnesota Jobs and Training because they tie together quite tightly.
Yeah.
And now that would be a natural fit for that.
Yeah,
They don't
that'd
meet
be fine.
at the same time or anything like that, do
No.
they? Okay. Everyone okay with
And
that?
you're faithful.
Yes.
All right. And the Region 7W Transportation, Mike, you were on that before in the past?
I'd like to continue, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Regional Crime Lab, Chris?
Yes, I'd like to continue.
Continue, okay.
The next one is a duplicate.
Yes, that was. I think
Yeah,
we might have had that one already.
we did.
Yeah, that's about the fifth one down, so we'll cross that out. River Rider Joint Powers Board, that was
It's gone.
Pat and I, and we are officially disbanded, so we'll scratch that one off as well. Safe Communities of Wright County, Chris, you were on that? Okay, you'll stay there. And Soil and Water, and I would like to stay on that. Twin City Urbanized Areas, Mark?
Yeah, that's with the Met Council.
Okay. And you,
When do they meet, or do they meet often, Mark?
No,
No, it's once a
Once-
year,
once a year
Mr. Chair. It's a
meeting.
once-a-year annual meeting, and in Commissioner Delyden's absent last year, I did attend the one. It's in Albertville this year. I'll be in St. Michael, and I believe it's February.
okay. And Mark, you're okay on the Water Management Task Force yet?
yeah, unless Commissioner Vetch wants something different.
Depends if you're selling off, or not selling off part of my language, but trying to auction off different ones you're trying to get rid of.
No, it's just if you don't feel like you've got enough.
Mr. Chair, I need to make a correction on that last statement with the urbanized boundary.
Yeah.
It's actually February 2nd on a Thursday, meeting in Sherburne County Government Center. I don't know if you got that word, Mark, or not.
Is that the UZA?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Okay. And Wright County Ag Society, the Fair Board, I'd like to stay on that. That's okay. And the Wright County Community Action Council, Mark and I have been on that, and I think we do a pretty good job representing the county, don't you think, Mark?
Yeah, I do.
You want to stay on that, or are you okay?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
are you keeping water management task force then, Mark?
Okay. And the Wright County Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan, Chris?
Yes.
All right, so we'll,
With that, Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the appointments with the noted changes.
I'll second it.
motion made and second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous. See, I think we're done with the reorganization.
I believe we are.
Okay, next is the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the county board minutes of 12/27/16.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Delyden, second by Hewsome. Any discussion, any corrections anybody see? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, seeing none, motion carries unanimous. The minute, the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second it.
Okay, Lee, do you have any corrections at all?
I do not.
Okay, motion made to approve the agenda. Seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries unanimous. Consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion made by
Second.
Lyden, seconded by Potter. Any further discussion? Anything? And Derek, just so you know, anything on here, it doesn't mean that you're against it. If you just, something you don't understand or you want clarification, you can pull it off. We would vote on the consent agenda and then come back to that item, so. All right, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous. Bob Hevela, you're back at it.
Okay. Morning, Board.
Morning.
First item on the agenda is by statute, we're supposed to appoint the official newspaper for the county. So Jackie sent out a letter to each of the newspapers in our county soliciting quotes. Board, we received 2 quotes, so I'm going to open them now. Chances are I'll bring the recommendation for the official newspaper next week. So the first one is from the Delano Herald-Journal. And we have a prescribed format in which they bid it. So we have them bid in line length in pica, lines per inch of legal, length of lowercase alphabet, and cost per column inch. So Delano's was 10.5 lines length in pica, 10 lines per inch in legals, 84 length of lowercase alphabet, and $3.50 per column inch for legals. Now, the Herald-Journal, they've been our official newspaper for many years. Their bid is 10.5 line length in pica, 10 lines per legal inch, 84 length in lower case alphabet, and 27 cents per column inch. So obviously I'll be bringing back the Herald-Journal as the official newspaper, but I'll quantify that for you.
Bob, that's up a lot from, what was last year's quote?
Board, I don't have that with me.
Wasn't it like a penny or something?
Like 10 cents or,
I believe it was 10 cents per column inch.
It was, okay, I just remembered it being really low.
it's still really low.
Okay. Okay, you'll bring that back next week?
Yeah, I'll quantify and bring it back in the form of a motion for you.
Okay, thank you.
The second item on the agenda is the claims. Because of the holiday, we took longer to get the claims list put together, so we didn't have it submitted via the consent agenda. So Board, you should have a packet in front of you. These are the first claims to be paid in 2017. A lot of these claims are clawed back to 2016 for the financial statements. Some of them are 2017 claims.
I'll make a motion to approve claims for $1,626,294.20, 123 vendors, 181 transactions subject to audit.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Delida and second by Hewsome. Any further discussion? All in favor of motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous. Okay, thank you, Bob. You need me to sign this one? Next up is Sean Riley, Planning and Zoning.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, County Board.
Morning.
We have 3 openings on our citizen boards, or 3 reappointments to address. Dan Bravender on the Planning Commission, District 5, Commissioner Burrell. Ken Felger on the Planning Commission, District 4, Commissioner Potter. And Paul Aristad, Board of Adjustment, District 4, also Commissioner Potter. I've talked to all three of the individuals, and they've expressed a willingness to return, and I think the commissioners have done likewise with them.
And Mr. Chair, I did talk with Ken and Paul, and all the feedback I'm getting from everybody else is they're outstanding members of the Planning Commission and the Board of Adjustment. With that, I'd make a motion to approve those appointments.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Potter, second by Delighten, and just as far as discussion, I would confirm that, Mike, that these are very good, hardworking members, and they do a great job, so.
I would
All
agree.
right, all right, thank you. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous, John.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
And Tony Rasmussen.
Do you have the oath of office?
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board.
Morning.
Happy New Year.
You too.
In June, the board agreed to reappoint me as the Wright County Assessor. Each assessor must be approved by the Commissioner of Revenue, which occurred in December for me, to serve another 4-year term. You guys can rest assured that my fingerprints are on file, that I have no criminal background, that I'm financially responsible, and my income taxes are in order.
How about your twin brother?
Okay,
All right.
you're ready?
At this point, per statute, 273.061, I am to take an oath in front of the board to serve another 4-year term. So
Are you
I
ready?
can either read this, put my right hand up and go that way, or I can do the,
Why don't I'll read it for you, but you can start off, just say I, Tony Rasmussen,
I, Tony Rasmussen,
swear and affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
swear and affirm that I will serve and support the Constitution of the United States
and of this state, and that I will diligently, faithfully, and impartially, in the performance of the duties of the office and trust that I now assume as County Assessor for the County of Wright, so help me God.
and of this state, that I will be diligent, faithful, and impartial in the performance of the duties of the office and trust that I now assume as County Assessor for the County of Wright. So help me God.
Okay, I think you're done.
Do we need a motion for that at all, or not?
We should.
I'll make a motion to continue approving county assessor reappointment.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Delight and second by Hewson to continue keeping Tony as our County Assessor. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
Tony.
you, Tony. Virgil Hawkins, Highway Engineer.
Morning, Chairman Burrell and Board of Commissioners. Happy New Year to everyone.
You too.
This morning, I have 3 items for your consideration. The first of which is to approve an agreement with Rockford Township for us to serve as their engineering firm, basically, for the State Park Road Account project. This is similar to what we did with Stockholm Township for Rhodes Avenue. But they've approved the agreement, and so we're just bringing it here for your approval.
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement number 1654 for improvement of Briarwood Avenue in Rockford Township.
I'll second that, Mr. Chair.
Motion made by Delight and second by Potter. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous. Thank you, Virgil. And the
Thank you.
next one?
The second item is before you is approval of candidate project for federal fund application that's due this Friday for submittal. And this is for Highway 19 in St. Michael, and this is for fiscal year 2021. That if we're fortunate enough to receive federal funds, that's when the project would be done. City of St. Michael supports this project, and just bringing this for your approval.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I did talk with Steve Bott, the administrator with St. Michael, and the city council on this, and they are fully in support of this moving forward, because what was done before was kind of the stopgap until this got taken care of. And with that, I'd make a motion to approve the request.
I'll second it.
Motion by Potter, seconded by Vetch. Any further discussion? What's that? Oh, it's a resolution. Resolution. We'll start with you, Mike, this time. Go ahead.
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion, resolution carries unanimous.
Thank you. The third item is similarly, City of Howard Lake is applying for some transportation alternative funding for some improvements in Howard Lake for 2021. And since they're a city under 5,000 population, we serve as their sponsor. And they have a resolution by the City Council. So we have another resolution here before you today that would allow us to serve as a sponsoring agency for these federal funds.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution for Howard Lake Highway 12 and Wright County Highway 6 pedestrian.
Second that.
Okay, Delight motions, Potter seconds. It's a resolution. Chris, you want to start this?
Aye.
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 See how I'm doing that rotation? Otherwise, it was always Chris and I starting every time. I thought I'd mix it up. Okay, Virgil, anything else?
Oh, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. And good job again on the roads today and keeping up with that ice
Yeah.
last night. I hope there weren't too many cars in the ditch, so.
Yeah,
It was bad then.
bad.
Okay, items for consideration, the AMC delegate appointments, and this is what Lee was talking about. They have the 5 different things. Does everyone want to stay on what they're at so far?
Yeah, I like public safety and, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Mike, you're okay on
Yeah,
transportation?
Mr. Chair, I'm okay with that. I'm also the chair, the AMC chair of the AMC.
Right.
I wouldn't want to
Transportation
take you off
Infrastructure.
that one.
No.
then.
So it'd be nice to
And
stay
Mark, you're
there.
okay? You're,
Well, I'll leave it up to Commissioner Vetch on what the,
well, what's that?
what was Commissioner Swatsky?
He was an environmental, and that's what I was saying. If you would have an interest in general government, that's what I was on. But if you are,
I'll swap with you.
would you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to do that. So.
Just take general government,
Yeah.
because I'm on Health and Human
Unless
Services.
you'd want to switch, I mean,
It makes no difference to me.
Okay.
That's fine.
Ideally, I was hope, of my knowledge and background and interest, Health and Human Services would be ideally kind of more the side that I was looking for, but general government would be also too, so
Yeah.
whichever one.
Okay,
If you-
well, yeah, I'm on another committee for now, so till I get off of that one.
So I'll just take general government?
Okay.
Okay.
And then I'll do environmental. Is there a motion to
So move, Mr. Chair.
I'll second that.
move by Potter? We'll give Chris the second on that. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Right.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Administration, adopt a resolution appointing Eric Hearing as the agricultural inspector.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion.
Motion by
Second.
Potter, second by Delyden. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
No,
Resolution, Mr.
Oh,
Chair.
the resolution too? I will start off, then I say aye. Mark?
Aye.
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 Okay, resolution carries unanimous. Thanks for catching that.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Quick question back to the policy committee appointments. Are we supposed to also name yourself and the highway engineer?
That would've-
Also at the same time?
That would have been done as the prior committee appointments done at the beginning of the meeting. It
Oh,
should
for
be in the
AMC
committee
delegate?
listing.
So we have already taken care of that
Correct.
part?
So it would be the 5 board members, myself, highway engineer,
Alright,
Bob.
Good point, though.
Just want to make sure.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Okay, and then also from administration, adopt a resolution appointing Michael Young as drainage inspector.
Also move.
I'll second.
Newsom moves, Potter seconds. Any discussion on that? Seeing none, and that is also a resolution, I take it?
Yes.
It is,
Okay,
yes.
Mark, you want to start that?
Yes.
Aye.
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 Aye. Advisory committees, updates. Mike, do you want to start it off, or are you ready yet?
Well, Mr. Chair, there was really nothing to report from last week. Just kind of a quiet week. Be one of the few that is. It'll come on fast and furious. The legislature starts today, so I'll probably be back down in St. Paul tomorrow. See how many pages I can rattle right off the get-go. And that'll be all, Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aside from our meetings, I didn't have any outside meetings.
Slow week with the holidays, okay? Mark?
I don't think I have anything either. Otherwise, other than just welcoming Commissioner Vetch, and I look
Yes.
forward to working with him.
Yeah.
And especially on the technology, I finally think we got somebody good on there now, and then we'll finally start moving things forward. Instead of having to teach them about how to use a phone and simple things like that.
Mr.
we'll be
Chair,
able to move forward.
with all due respect to Commissioner Delighten's point of view, I think that Commissioner Burrell is better with an abacus than Commissioner Vetch would be.
I can
And a slide rule, too. Don't forget the slide rule.
Let's not forget that.
just let you know, I can now send an email with an attachment.
Can you?
Don't,
Commissioners, I'm excited
don't let the
spend the next
slams
time
go
with you.
too far.
Okay. So with that, Mr. Chair, do we have to make a motion to officially sell the smoke signal blankets now?
They're bad, aren't they? Derek, just don't get on their bad side, that's what
I
happens.
guess so.
No, we respect our elders.
No, I say welcome aboard, Derek. We look forward, all of us look forward to serving with you, and I think you're gonna be a great addition to the board. You bring some real talent, in your own realm as well, so.
Thank you, Chair and fellow commissioners. Excited to spend a lot more time here learning from you and hopefully bringing some knowledge to the board.
Okay, sounds good. With that, I guess we're adjourned at 9:42.